Like, we're just normal people. We're not astronauts. Hey y'all, it's Megan. If you are returning to my channel, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome aboard. So today we are going to do some more skipper stories, and these are all things that were probably kind of like you had to be there moments, but y'all have been very supportive in the past of my little stories from things that my friends said while we were working at the Jungle Cruise. So today we're going to do a few more of them. Both of these today were statements from some of my very best friends while we were working there, and only one of them happened while we were actually working. One of them was while we were like visiting the parks together. But the one that happened while we were working, I use the term working very loosely. This was a day that went very strangely. We were 101 for weather for like most of the day, and it was actually a fun shift for me because someone had wanted some like extra hours, and I don't know if it's still this way, but in 2012 at least, you could kind of like swap shifts and split shifts and stuff like that. So one of my friends was wanting more hours, and I had like a 12 or 15 hour day, and I was like, I would rather not. So I did 3 or 4 hours, and then I gave him the rest of the hours, and he was happy to have them, and I was happy to be rid of them. So the entire time that I was there, that 3 or 4 hours, we were 101. So I was just hanging out on the dock with the skippers. So when it was raining pretty hard, we would mainly congregate like in the queue or underneath the exit where, you know, the dock box and everything is, because no one's coming down into the hole of the Jungle Cruise when it's pouring rain. People just don't know it's there most of the time, and they're really not looking for it if it's a torrential downpour. So for the most part that day, we were just standing around waiting for the lightning to pass. And sometimes in the summer, that's like 20 minutes. Sometimes that is a few hours. And this was one of the days where it was just pretty much an all-day rainstorm, and we just kind of had to stand around and chat for a while. And of course, if guests came, we would talk to them and answer questions. There was some time where we were just kind of like hanging out. And this was one of my very, very best skipper friends. So he is also from the South. So we were talking about Southern food, as you do. And we were talking about the chicken fast food restaurant, Bojangles. I had been to them in the past, but I hadn't been to one in like a while. And so he was telling me about the most wonderful, delicious thing that has ever crossed his lips, which was apparently the Bowberry biscuit. And at the time I had no idea what this was. I was like, a what? Bowberry. It's in like blueberry, but Bojangles, a fad. So I thought, you know, a biscuit sounds good. Like, nothing to write home about though, right? Like, it's just a biscuit. No. It's a biscuit, but with like blueberry compote syrup stuff and like icing, like cinnamon roll icing, all drizzled on it. Warm, gooey, delicious. It's a dessert biscuit. It's not just a biscuit with some butter on it, which is also, you know, peak Meaghan food. But he was telling me about this Bowberry biscuit, and I was like, this sounds delicious. Is it as good as it sounds? And this man looked me dead in the face, and with zero sarcasm, absolutely no irony to be found anywhere, goes, I would have a monogamous relationship with the Bowberry. We would have a picket fence, and we would have little Bowberries. They would be running around in the yard. Just like that. Just rolled off the tongue. There was no hesitation. There was no thinking about this concept. It was just, I would have a monogamous relationship with the Bowberry. If it was a person, obviously. Wow, I thought I liked food. Like, this is, you love food. Since then, I have had the Bowberry. I have introduced my husband to the Bowberry. Can confirm, quite delicious. So the one that was while we were at the parks actually happened the last day of my program. It was, you know, the last full day where you're there. You're usually not scheduled to work. So I was going, you know, park to park. We were doing basically a 4 parks in a day thing, finishing up, doing all the last minute things with some of the skippers, all of us who our programs were ending at the same time. So we were going around, and we started off the day at Animal Kingdom because it's very hot and you like to start there. So we were at Animal Kingdom, and as we were leaving, several of the skippers were talking about different attractions. And we were all kind of like thrill ride people, just in general. And so, you know, we had been to Universal together and done all the actual like big girl rides together as well. But we were talking about like Everest and stuff, and we were saying, man, like we need more thrill rides at Disney. We were talking about Rock and Roller Coaster because we were getting ready to head to Hollywood Studios. It's like, isn't Rock and Roller Coasters like so amazing? The launch is like the very best thing. It's one of the best parts of any attraction on Disney property because it's so fast. It's like 0 to 68 or something like that is how fast it goes. And one of the skippers says, man, don't you wish that it could go like 70 miles an hour the entire time? And another one looks and goes, dude, it's like the same pressure as like going to space. You can't handle that for that long. Like, we're just normal people. We're not astronauts. And another one of the guys who was with us, without missing a beat, without even hesitating, just looked us dead in the face and super seriously went, I've been to space. And I went there with Lieutenant Dan. And it took us all a second. We were all like, what? At the time, Gary Sinise, I haven't been on mission space in a long time. Is Gary Sinise still the guy, like the host dude? I don't think he is. But at the time, for sure, Gary Sinise was who was like your commander who was sending you to space. And the fact that he just like threw that out there was one of the funniest things to me. It's just like, skippers have no chill, they have no filter, but they don't need one because they're all so funny. I'm not. I've told you before, I had a whole video where I talked about like I was not qualified in any capacity to be a skipper because I'm not funny. Skippers are just a different breed of funny. Like, they very dry senses of humor. They don't need to try to be funny. It's my very favorite thing. So I hope you guys also appreciate a little dry, unironic humor. That is it for today. My skipper stories are some of my most treasured memories from working at the Jungle Cruise and working at Disney in general. So I hope that you guys also enjoy hearing some of those little, like, had to be there moments and getting in on the inside jokes with me. Did I just have to erase some stuff off my memory stick because I never do that and I ran out of time at the very end of my video? Absolutely, yes I did. Do you guys have like inside jokes with your friends that were at a job and you still like refer back to those? One of the classics for me is Ann Pancake. I don't know why, but while I was at Jungle, someone said, I think accidentally, they said Ann Pancake instead of a pancake. And so then we just started using the wrong article for everything. And so now even, I mean, it's been how many years? 12 almost since that happened. And I still will, without meaning to, say Ann Pancake when I'm like at home doing like normal life. And I hope to God I do it around people who know the story and they don't just think that I have absolutely lost my entire mind. It's things like that where it's like you have a little inside joke that happens like one time and then it just keeps coming back and it's a story that you remember forever and ever and you just want to share it with people. Let me know what those are down below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye y'all.